It's crazy. I mean, the stuff that I have to put up with behind the scenes. Anyway, regardless, this podcast, Chris, we've got a sponsor. That's how good we are this week. We've got a sponsor this week. So today's sponsor is A to Z Creations. They're a creative studio based in Liverpool and Manchester, and they're aiming to provide businesses and individuals with high quality professional logos and other services as well. But in the meantime, I'll forget about that. We want to introduce our guest for this evening, and that is Miss Hayley and Smitton. There she is.
Oh,
The full look. We only do full titles here. That's how we work. It's the full title.
Well, you miss Her Royal Highness, Miss Hayley and.
So, how you doing, Hayley? We're all in quarantine at the moment. How are you getting on?
I'm having a ball. Not even lying. I'm not even lying. Right, the sun's cracking the flags. My house has never looked so. Well, it's up the wall now because I've been doing DIY, but at the end of it, it's going to be fabulous.
Because you have been doing a bit of DIY, and you've been doing.
I haven't stopped. I've kept myself occupied.
That's brilliant.
I've been busy. The only thing I'm missing is my nails. Got me, not, me landmark, knowing signature nails. And
is that something that you're missing at the moment? Is that?
And maybe a bit of Botox.
You don't need Botox at all. I bet.
Oh, look at you,
I best be careful because Rachel's in the other room. Actually, I best be careful.
Rachel, I do ignore him.
I have to say, Hayley, I have enjoyed your Instagram pictures this week. My highlight was not the power drill, but the grinding of the rails with the angle grinder.
It's good, wasn't it? One hand and all. Because I'm on my own, so I had to do the video myself as well. And I didn't even lose a finger.
Well, I'm thinking, is that how you got your nails off with the angle?
That's, it would have been easier. Your poor nails. Look at them hands. They look like a little dwarf's hands.
I don't
like bathfuls or something
like
that. Walt Disney.
With no nails, yeah. I don't think I've ever seen you with no nails.
No one has. Oh, no nails, DIY. No one has. Chris, no one has. It's like Clark Kent without his glasses. Doesn't make sense.
How apart from your DIY, what else have you been doing?
Well, do you know what? To be honest, because we're still allowed out, I've got a dog, so me and the dog have just been going on walks. Do you know what I mean? And it's not. I mightn't be feeling as having a ball about it if we were full on, wearing allowed over the doorstep. So just been going out with the dog and keeping myself amused and colouring in. Sam laughed at me the other day when I told him about me colouring in, but like anything to keep you occupied, and I've read loads of books as well. So, it could be worse. I think, I understand a lot of people have got poorly and that's, it's bad, but for the people that aren't, we're lucky. We can do the likes of this. We can pick up phones and talk to our loved ones. Do you know what I mean? We're a lot more connected than some other countries or some other people are. So I think we have to take the positive out of the negative there. Do you know what I mean? It's not like no one knows where anyone is or how they are. We're all still connected. Just we physically can't give each other a call.
I think that's something that we said first of all when we did this podcast, wasn't it, Sam? That we actually are going to try and use what tools we can to speak to people and speak to artists and speak to like yourself and just connect more, because there's probably people who are struggling for to reach out and speak to people. So artists and singers we've had on last few weeks, and they've really enjoyed the experience, just actually chatting and just being able to interact a little bit, because people are from what I've spoken to the last few days, some people are actually scared to leave the house now because it's been built up that much. And I know you've got a dog and you can walk, and everyone should be doing some kind of exercise and stuff, but there's people who are actually physically scared to leave the house now, which is crazy.
Yeah, and they are, and especially the elderly, and you've got the news on 24/7. Do you know what I mean? And the more vulnerable people who believe everything that they read or hear, do you know what I mean? And social media is great and a lot of stuff, but it's also really good at scaremongering as well. Do you know what I mean? So I can understand where people are coming from there. Do you know what I mean? I generally kind of live in a bubble 9 times out of 10 and just ask my sister what's going on rather than watch the news like that. Oh, no, but it's I just think if we just all adhere to the guidelines that are being put out, it can be dealt with. Do you know what I mean? It can be. It's just, and I've got to say, honestly, like I take the dog out every day religiously anyway before this. But even like I don't live far from a park, and we go through the park, and I can honestly say, don't know whether it's me, but from what I've seen, Liverpool are doing the bit, you know, because there's not many people in the park at all. I can't say I've seen groups of people or even groups of kids knocking about together. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, it's good. I think as a city in general, Liverpool are really good at coming together, aren't they, and doing what needs to be done.
Yeah, I think you're right. There's obviously today with the anniversary of Hillsborough as well, people being on the internet all day and stuff like that. But as I say, you're right, this city does come together in so many ways. One thing I've noticed, I haven't been out much myself, but one thing I have noticed is everything feels cleaner. Have you noticed the air feels cleaner at the moment? Yeah. It's weird. I don't know if it's psychological or it's just because you think that, but I think everything feels fresh and clean. I don't know.
You know, there's loads to be said, isn't there? This weather, can you remember the last time we had an April like this? But I tell you what, I have noticed doing my DIY the other day and sanding my railings down. Everyone that walked past said hello. Ah, yeah, hello. Social distancing, obviously, but do you know what I mean? It's like you don't always get that in day-to-day busy life.
I agree, Hayley. I mean, me and Rachel went for a walk around Oxford on the Wirral then, and little things like little signs that you wouldn't necessarily go up to and look and read. We were there spending 5-10 minutes stopping, and we found the most incredible thing on the route around the block where Rachel lives. There's literally little trees with little notes on, with little jokes on. So as you're walking around the block, you see these jokes, and it was just a friendly reminder that there are people out there, and there are people, you know, want to spread joy in this world. So it's fantastic. And
I think I seen something online today, and it was by Frankie Boyle, and I'm not really a Frankie Boyle fan, to be honest with you, but he said everyone's saying let's go back to normal. Well, beforehand wasn't normal. Wars, people suffering, being left alone, homelessness, do you know what I mean? That wasn't normal. We need to learn from this, and we need to all like progress into a better world, do you know, from it. And I suppose he's right in some sense. We've learned a lot, do you know what I mean? Like everyone going, like one day I didn't go out to do the railings. Good Friday, I thought I'll have it off. and the man who walked his dog said, "Where were you yesterday?" And I was like, "I was Good Friday, I had the day off." But, you know, things like that, ordinarily would even notice, because the busy life, I think everyone, my stress levels are right down, to be honest with you. I'm really, like, chill and just enjoying it. But I think it might be the sun, I don't know. Or the 7 beers. Or the 7 beers I've had today. Is it that? Oh, God.
That's definitely going to have an influence. I'm not going to lie.
I haven't had no beer. Using a drill. No, I don't know. You're right in what you're saying, Chris. Things seem brighter and everyone seems happier, as happy as they can be. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it's because people aren't talking to, or people aren't stuck in a house full of people, or people aren't coming and going, and there's less human contact. So when they are seeing someone, they can say, "Ah, yeah." Do you know? I don't know, but I'm doing all right. You too? Yeah,
I'm doing all right. I'm not going for the food shop now. I'm going for the supplies shop. It's weird, isn't it? You don't say I'm going for the weekly shop now. I'm going for the supplies. It's crazy. But I think, do you know what? And I noticed that last night. I think all the shops and stuff are doing a fab job. I think everyone who's doing what they need to get over this. The NHS are doing an unbelievable job. They're under so much pressure, so much stress. They're doing amazing, and I think everyone's doing their own little bit to make it work. And I was in the shop last night, and it was chilled, it was relaxed, there was no pressure, no people panic buying. Everyone was just doing their own thing, staying out of the way, and then you get to the till, and then you leave. So it's very strange.
I'd say I've seen, like, sometimes the queues, like, my mum's been self-isolating, so I've been doing her shopping for her and taking it up and leaving it on the step and that. But even the queues in the Asda that I go to was round the car park, and there was everyone just adhered to it. There was no one kicking off to let me in, I'm only running in for nothing like that. Everyone just adhered to it and just waited. I think everyone has done well, but the hospitals and the NHS, everyone, the carers, my dad's in a care home, and his carers, they've been, I think they went on lockdown 2 weeks before everybody else, just for the safety, of the residents. And they've done a fabulous job. Like, they're missing time with the kids. They're doing like three sleepovers, do you know what I mean? And stuff like that. Back to back 3 nights and missing time with the kids and the families and all that. They're doing an amazing job. I just hope that, the government don't let it revert to how it was before this. I don't think they can possibly, do you know what I mean? Especially after Boris being in himself and seeing first hand. They can't let it go back to how it was, surely. But only time will tell, I suppose.
We'll learn from it and we'll all come out in different ways. We'll all take something different from this, I think. And I was saying this yesterday, that this will become part of history lessons in the future. It will become a part of history, and there'll be things like you'll have business degrees on it, economics, history. There'll be so many things, and we're in the middle of it. And I just before this, I said there's always someone I think I mentioned it in the first podcast, I can't remember, but there's always someone in your life, your granddad, that happened to us, this has happened to no one. This is just like, we're all in it together, and I think the hardest thing is not being able to see your family properly. My mum and dad, I've not seen them for a few weeks now. My son, he's not seen his grandparents, so it's hard for everyone. It is. We'll all get there though, and I think we just got to keep going.
Well, we had my wedding to go to at the end of March, and then the week later, like, the matriarch of our family, my auntie, she was 80. Now, she spent that on her own. Obviously, the wedding didn't happen. But saying that, my auntie Ina, she's still here. She's safe. The wedding's been moved. Do you know what I mean? Things will still go ahead. It's just disappointing at the time, but everyone's safety is paramount. But like you say, that is the hardest thing. My mum's quite savvy. She'll give us a FaceTime and that, you know what I mean? So, but like you say, some people don't. I think can't. That's the downfall. But as long as we can talk to them, I think. If we couldn't talk to anyone, I think I'd be worse. But
work-wise, obviously Sam and I, we know, we've said in the last few weeks what's been happening to us, but what people don't know kind of what you do as well, so it'd be nice to just tell the viewers what you do.
DIY.
Apart from DIY.
60-minute makeover. Come on, that's my job. I'm the new host of 60-minute makeover. No.
You're gonna be the next Claire Sweeney then, I think. On.
Sorry, Claire girl. Off. I'm on it. Yeah.
So you tell everyone what you kind of do, and we'll kind of say how we know you as well. Sam, you can go from there if you want.
Hayley, basically we know each other from back in the green room days when you gave me the chance to perform on there.
I was thinking we must be coming up for like 10 years of knowing each other now, mustn't we? Because I knew you. Well, because the green room's 10 this year, and then obviously you went to the college and the uni, didn't you? So before you sang on there, you used to come in and ask me for tea and toast.
I did actually. I do remember that. I do remember coming in and asking for, too many. That's why I'm a diabetic now, you see. Too many toast off you. But loads of butter, which is fantastic.
To come on, I was thinking we've known each other a long time now, Sam.
And like I said, you gave me the opportunity to perform along with the lads. To perform on that green room stage, and it was a scary thing for me, specifically because it kind of took me out of my comfort zone. I wasn't at that time kind of career-wise wanting to go down that route. It was more of a little side hustle, little money maker, and obviously using my voice as well. So it was fantastic. And I remember after the first performance, you collared me. You told me off big style. You did.
Oh, it sounds about right. What did I say?
You literally, you came to me and you said, that was good, but it needs to be so much more. It needs to be so much more and bigger, and you need to be doing these songs, this song, that song.
I never.
You did. I remember like it was yesterday.
Well, you're welcome, Sam, because look where you are now, love.
Wow.
I've done the same colour as my wallpaper. Now, he's dramatic, making that more dramatic than it was. Probably said, listen, Sam, it's fabulous, but you just want to do it like this. Making me out to be dead aggressive.
No. I'll tell you what actually happened. You did say to me, you need to do more up-tempo songs. That's what you said to me. Because
if you remember, Sam, when we met, you were musical theatre and you were an actor. Do you know what I mean? So, but I've got to say, you do sing Bring Them Home very, very well.
Oh, thank you.
You do. Because you remember they used to say to you, right, Sunday afternoon audience, you can do them songs, Friday night audience, this song, Saturday night audience, these songs, and work with who else is on the bill. Do you know what I mean? So it all fitted in nicely, so the show built. But you do Bring Them Home well, like you have that.
Thank you. I mean, that's a really nice comment. I wasn't expecting to get comments like that.
Didn't I? Oh no.
But
I did have a reputation of saying to people before they went on, don't be shit and you'll be fine. Like, did he say that? Did. Wait till you play this. I'll be like, don't be shit.
But you've got a kind of a similar role at Grand Central now. You tell us a little bit more about what you're doing at Grand Central, because for me personally, I think it's a lot more than what you were doing at the Green Room, for sure.
It's Grand Central's different, but to say in the Green Room, I was GM, so I've done everything from ordering the stock to unblocking toilets as and when it needed. Do you know what I mean? To the stage, and I loved it. I did. It was a great venue. Still is. But Grand Central, I'm just focusing on the events manager. My title is at Grand Central, so I don't have to pull a pint. We've got great bar managers and all that, and a great team. So basically, I book events in, but where it differs from the Green Room is that it's not just the Green Room was cabaret and live entertainment. This, Grand Central, we have a bit of cabaret, we have sport events, and we have loads of boxing events there, football events, weddings, private functions, the lot. So it's not just a case of booking acts in, people come in, and it's selling the venue as well. I have to sell it if people want to hire it. It's my job to sell it to them, but it's about seeing the venue. I think it lends itself. That was part of the reason why I come out back in the game, if you like. Because when I left the Green Room, it was for a reason, but I think we're going to touch upon that in a minute, aren't we? And then when Maureen approached me about doing the job, I was like, oh, I don't know, I've got uni and I don't know. And then she knew. She went, no, you just come with me and have a little look at the room, have a little look at the space. And I went in and I was just like, wow, it deserves, do you know what I mean? It needs to be used. It needs to be used.
For people that don't know Grand Central, it used to be Quiggins. And it used to have all different stalls in there, and then it was a food market at one point, and then Maureen has now turned it into this unbelievable cabaret events venue.
So Grand Central Hall is upstairs to what is now the Smoky Mo's. That used to be the Barcelona, but the space, the Grand Central Hall space, as what we refer to as the Dome, the 13, there's 474 seats on the balcony, 900 stands, and it's amazing. That's been there for years, and I'm not too sure I think it was empty for a lot of years. I think that might have been there before the underneath was there, because it was a Methodist church many, many years ago. And then the Royal Liverpool Philharmonic, that was their rehearsal rooms. So it's been there a long time. I just don't know if they were always connected. Do you know what I mean? But no, it was empty for a lot of years, and Maureen has turned it round and regenerated it and put a lot of life back into it. Do you know what I mean? So it's fabulous.
It's got an absolutely fantastic like church organ at the back on the, and is that an original? Was that an original?
It works. The organ works.
Does it work? Yeah.
Yeah, it's original, because again, going back to the Methodist church, it works. Yeah. So you just have to. A little man has to come out and wind it up. but it works. Yeah, we've got the keys and all that. It works. It's just that we keep it like locked, etc. and stuff, just so no one messes about it.
It's an amazing feature to have in the back behind someone playing, because you've got the lovely lights, you've got the lovely sound system.
Oh, it's great, the sound system and the lights.
Yeah. And that
does a good job.
It just looks amazing. It's really unique.
Yeah, it is, and nowhere else has got one. And it's like, how do you say? Oh, come and look at my organ. I don't know. How'd you say that? Did I say that? Look at sound. No, but you know what I mean? I can actually say that, can't I?
Well, it's true.
I can actually say that. Come on, look at my organ. Do you know what I mean?
You know, one thing that also with the room is, and not many people, you don't look up at a venue, but that ceiling is amazing as well.
It's has anyone been into Vatican City? It's like something out of the Vatican City.
Yeah.
The way it goes up, and you don't, because most venues are just flat roofs, aren't they? All flat. You know, it is, or the dark, because the little, and when you play like pubs and clubs and everything is dark, because it always hides a multitude of sins. You know, the carpet and the whatever. But there, you can't help but look up. You can't, and you just gravitates, doesn't it, to make you look up?
See, I think with the venue though, because it's such a big circle, you can see everything. In certain venues, and you've worked in venues in the past, and we've played in so many venues, there's always something that can hide or block a stage. It's just high. It's got the light. It's just it sells itself to the artists.
Sorry, Chris, you a bit there.
I'm just saying the stage sells itself to the artist because it's so big and it's so nice, and it's
really raised as well. It's a really high stage. It's great for an artist. Well, you've played it, Sam, haven't you? Do you know what I mean? It's great for the artist, but it's like a magical place. That stage deserves live bands all the time. Do you know what I mean? It's great that it is, and like you say, there's no blind spots in the room. Even on the balcony, there's no blind spots in the room at all. It's really good for that. There's none. Because with it being circular, the bars are circular as well, so no one's having to. No one misses anything.
No. And like you said, with it being a church, it's got that acoustic. That is, well, it's something that I've never experienced in a venue that I've performed in. That it is quite. I don't want to come across. It's very holy. Like it resembles a church. And what you're saying, it used to be a church. That's quite unbelievable to think that it was. But you have been in management now for a couple of years, and it's interesting to ask you. You know, did you go to management school, or did you do any sort of training to be a manager of a club? Or tell us what was the first moment that happened when you were approached?
Well, I worked in a pub called the Bow and Arrow, and if anyone watching this knows the Bow and Arrow, then there's your answer. It was a bit rough and ready at times, and I was the cock of the bow, so There's your answer. No, I'm just bossy, I think. Just
because
bossy.
you are
just got
good
that
at what you do, and I think this is where you get the respect of the likes of the artists, management, whoever it may be. That
It's me 10%.
I don't think you've got a temper, Hayley. I don't think you've got one.
Bossy guys, are they? No, I think. Thank you very much for saying that as well. I think what it is some people will laugh at this, me mother especially. I'm a people person, do you know what I mean? I'm a doer. I if I had to sit behind a desk every day, I couldn't do it. So I like being out, and I started off, like say, in the bar as a barmaid, and you just learn and you just watch and you just pick things up, do you know what I mean? And I think a large part of management, especially hospitality management and stuff, is common sense and forward thinking. Do you know what I mean? And just you have to start at the bottom. I don't think I could have ever went into a job in a bar and say, give me a job as a manager. You'd have to start off on the lowest run of the ladder, and you just work your way up. You pay attention, you observe, you listen to your clientele. Do you know what I mean? You listen to your patrons when they leave and they say, oh, I like this, but I didn't like this, I like this. So you take stuff on board and then you just run with them ideas. It's and again, being in this industry isn't something like management and putting events on and stuff like that. It's never something I thought I'd do. It just kind of fell into it. Do you know what I mean? I started in the green room. The lads used to do adult acting classes next door in what was
Red Hot Media.
Red Hot Media, yeah. So I went there, and then I think I started there in the September 2009, and then the green room was getting built. So Ted said to me, I was looking for an extra job at the time because I was going to New York, and I was like, I need it. And Ted went, well, why don't you ask the lads? So I was like, oh yeah, I'll ask. And then I said to them, so they interviewed me, or the manageress at the time, she interviewed me, and I just thought, oh, I'll just go there and get some spends for New York. And as it happens, I went to New York again. And then I went somewhere else, and I was just there, do you know what I mean? And then I think that was the May, and I think by the September, I was the manager. But again, it's just, and the lads did teach me a lot as well. It wasn't, I didn't just go in and say, we'll book this. They taught me a lot. And then it was a couple of years before they released the reins to me and said, yeah, you do the booking now. Do you know what I mean? And stuff like that. So you just have to learn, and you have to like it. You have to like what you're doing. You know that.
Well, we'll say.
Do you know what I mean? It's like you can't go on stage and sing a song if your heart's not in it. It's just like,
no, you're totally right, and it's the knowledge. It's being passed on. Like I said at the very beginning, you passed on that knowledge to me, and now the ventures that I'm currently in with the boy band, and obviously me and Chris are in Up All Night, our covers band, and me going out solo act, and obviously with the LMA choir as well. It's amazing. It's really good. And
sorry to interrupt you. I seen the video for the NHS, the song for the NHS.
Yes, yeah. It was just featured, believe it or not, on the BBC News. So that's pretty cool as well.
Oh, was it?
It was. So you'll have to catch that on the iPlayer. Thank you.
Again, it's just like, and from when you started, because we always had someone opening the show with 3 songs, didn't we? And it was always someone from the college, because we had that affiliation. But I remember you doing your first hour set, 45 or hour set. Do you know what I mean? And coming off and just being like, oh my God, you fought on 3 songs, 3 musical theatre songs, I'd be doing this.
But I think people don't realise how long it takes. That process for me probably took personally too long than what it should have. But it's so difficult to find songs that work for every audience, because you literally have to walk into every venue that you play and you have to scout the crowd. You have to look at the crowd and go, is it a younger crowd, older crowd? And then change accordingly, to go in.
That's why you have to have a good musical catalogue of songs so you can do that.
I've always said to Sam in Up All Night, and I don't know if this works in the venue. I've always said to Sam, you've got to play songs that will fit for everyone in the room. So from what age you're in the room, you've got to play a song that they know. So you've got to fit everyone's criteria. But I've always said people have got to have a good time. You've got to have a good time, and in your game, they've got to go to a show and just enjoy the night. And that's the most important thing, I think, because that gets people back. That's what you want.
Without a shadow of a doubt. And that's the hard part. That's fine. And like, it could be really easy for you to be really self-indulgent in the role I've got and only put acts on that you like. Do you know what I mean? But that doesn't necessarily always mean. I love Rod Stewart and Elton John. Sadly, they don't pull the same crowd as a Motown would, or the boy bands would. Do you know what I mean? Or a Take That tribute would, or the divas. The divas. Do you know what I mean? You have to be. You can't just think about you, and it must be the same for you guys. You can't sing songs that you just like. I bet you in your set there's songs that you hate. I don't know an artist that hasn't come off stage and go, oh, I can't bear that song. But because they know the audience love it and respond to it, they do it. And you just have to make sure. I'm not an ABBA fan. I'm not an ABBA fan, but ABBA. But yeah, I know every word to every ABBA song. But ABBA, you know, that's a club filler, because they're happy-go-lucky songs. They make everyone get up and dance, and they've been around for years. Do you know what I mean? And years, so they've got that longevity, and people have fond memories. I find a lot of the time people come to shows to reminisce as well. So, like, say I have a Jersey Boys tribute on, and then you get someone celebrating the 50th wedding anniversary, do you know what I mean? Or like, this was our song, or do you know what I mean? And stuff like that. There's reasons why people go to certain shows. There is.
I think when Sam and I we set up See Live Entertainment, we always look out for acts that are a little bit different, but quality. Quality acts. You've got to have quality acts, and you've got to have acts that are likeable. Do you have, when you're doing a bill for the evening or an event, do you have certain things in mind that you want to get or you achieve? So you have a headlining act. Do you try and fill the headline act with things similar, or do you try and vary the night up, or what?
I try. What I try to do is I try to keep it in a line. So, like, say for instance, if I've got a Motown on, I try to streamline it with. So, say for I could put Sam on to open the show, and then a girl in the middle, because I know Sam's songs won't clash with the Motown songs. That's why I say to people, can I see your sets, and then I know what acts they work with. I couldn't put a rock on. Well, I could, but I wouldn't put a rock on, a rock person, or, like, you know, I don't know, a heavy metal person with a Motown. It just wouldn't flow. You know what I mean? People are coming to see Motown, so they only know what's on the top of the bill. The other two supporting acts are just extra, you know, because we want to give them value for money. So it all has to flow. There has to be a fluidity there. It has to make sense for me. It has to build to, you know, the big ones. That's why that's important to me, that, you know, if you do. And I wouldn't put two acts on that are similar also. So if I had, you know, a soul, like, I'm going to contradict myself now, but if I had a soul night on, so say like I had a soul singer top of the bill, male, I could put a soul. So say I had Steve Charles on top of the bill, I'm sure he won't mind me saying, I could put Rachel Chambers on as well on the same bill, because she's the female version of the top of the bill. Do you know what I mean? But I just couldn't put like two of the very similar ones. And when they are too similar on the same night, they have to lose songs, because the way I see it, the top of the bill has the monopoly over the songs. Do you know what I mean? So that's why, again, going back to what we were saying about the people having a good catalogue of songs that they can sing. Some people I have to say to people, well, they're going to finish on that. The top of the bill's going to finish on that, so you have to take that out. And then they have to be able to replace that song. Do you know what I mean? So there's so I think sometimes people think that you might just throw a show together, but there's a lot of thinking, logistics that goes into my way of thinking. I'm not saying it's everyone's way of thinking, that's just how I do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I think when in the green room, before I knew you.
Yeah, that's right, you did.
But you'd have they'd be the best nights in Liverpool at one point. They were top cabaret nights, and you'd get something that everyone would enjoy. I used to love that you'd have someone from the college come in and sing to get the experience like Sam did, and then you'd build up to the big headliner. Yeah, and it just worked. It worked. And it was a clever way that you managed to get a venue and achieve that. And I think that's what I can see is happening now with Grand Central. I can see the projection of the building is just over the last 6 months. It's just come up. It's just fantastic.
It really has. And again, with people wanting to hire it for the weddings and private events, and we've had loads of private events from film companies that we can't even. So sometimes you'll go on our website and it'll be like, I don't know, the boy band's up all night, and lists, and then there'll be like some weekends where it looks like there's nothing on, but we've got private functions there. Do you know what I mean? And we've got so many promoters coming to us asking us, can they work in our venue and bring like big names? Do you know what I mean? Because it's getting a good reputation. It's just having patience. Rome wasn't built in a day, and the green room wasn't built in a day. Do you know what I mean? It took us a long time. And the green room, when we first started, it was Saturday nights only. And then once the Saturday night started selling out, we went to the Fridays, and then we introduced one Sunday afternoon every month. You know what I mean? It's just patience. And it will, I think it will, like you say, Chris, I think it will peak, and that's what it's there for. There's still loads to be done because it's new, but we'll get there. And actually being off has given me, time to brainstorm, if you like, which is good.
Because with everything that's going on currently at the moment with coronavirus, it's obviously affected us musicians, but speaking from a venue side, your job is essentially, like you said then, it's the forward thing, it's to book things in. It's obviously affected you severely, and just explain the situation there and how you're dealing with it.
It's really, well, if I'm being honest, we haven't really, because the events that I have booked in, they have got to be forwarded, what's the word? Changed, put back in at a later date. But until we get them dates, until we know when this is over, we can't put nothing in. So my planning, whereas I'd ring you and go, Sam, can you do this, the boy band for like 6 months down the line? That's stopped now. So we'll be chasing our tail, if you like, coming back, because you need the selling of your shows. Do you know what I mean? For people to sell in. So it's a tough one. I think we've got some shows that are still in, like we're doing in the entry festival to help the homeless and stuff like that. That's still in because that's in August. So that hasn't been changed yet. Changed a few dates for later on in the year, October, November. But I've got private parties booked in and everything, and weddings, and until it's really, my heart goes out to them, do you know what I mean? Because I've got no answers for them until we know. I don't want to keep booking things in for people and then cancelling them. And to be honest, the people, the promoters and the people with private functions, etc., they're of the same thinking, really, do you know what I mean? We had a big Liverpool event booked in, like it is Cop Mania, where we done the like they were having an end of season party there, a big event and stuff. And again, with the football being cancelled, I can't give them a date until all the matches are played. Absolutely. Again. It is madness. So it's kind of, if someone said the 20th of May it's all done, then I could fly. Yeah. But until we've got a date. There's not much we can do.
I'd say one of the most disappointing dates so far for me was the Grand National, Sam. We were supposed to be on there, but I'm sure we will come back with a.
You're hearing it here first. We're having a big party. Details to follow, but yous will be on. I'm trying to get everyone now, because I'm trying to get everyone that that we have booked in. Four shows. I'm trying to get them, but again, until we know, but it's going to be a hell of a party. I might do an all day, 12 o'clock till whatever. 12 midday till whenever, till all the ale runs out. Do you know what I mean? I think we'll be looking for it now, but I've got a few things in the pipeline, but I just can't say anything yet because dates. Do you know what I mean? We'll get ideas. And I suppose you're in the same boat. You can't take no bookings, can you?
No, we're in a bit of limbo at the moment because we're doing things. Obviously, Sam set this up because it's kind of keeping people talking and keeping people keeping going. But we're the same. We can't put any acts out because no one's doing anything, and so it's good that people are promoting themselves on their Facebooks and stuff, keeping things going. But as you say, as soon as there's data there, I think it's just going to be swamped as well.
No, that's what I mean about enjoying the time, because I reckon in a matter of 6 months, people are going to be doing 12 months worth of work.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I think just enjoy it, because everything will be. You'll be doing like 2 or 3 gigs a night, because up all night's predominantly a good wedding band, isn't it? Now people are going to have had to put theirs back and back and back. Do you see, everyone's, I think, and even I'm planning a party in mine, and I'm thinking, right, because, like a live act on in mine, Sam. So I'm thinking, right, I'll get a few singers in. And that's just me in my house. Do you know what I mean? So I think everyone is going there, but it's hard. And I think, what is good, though? The way they cut our arts money, didn't they? The funding for the arts. Yeah. I think that'll be getting looked upon after this as well, because that's what's kept everyone going.
Yeah.
Really is, isn't it? Oh, just spat on my own screen.
I think things will come back to normality slowly but surely, and I think there is everyone just. I know speaking personally, I want to go out and go and walk down the street, go into a local pub and have a pint. I'll be honest. I'll be the first one to say it. And I can't wait for that to happen.
I think I can't speak for the country because I don't live anywhere else, but Liverpool, I think, as a city, we love party, we love going out, we're a sociable city. I don't think every pub or bar or club might recover, but I think places I've worked have a local core clientele. Do you know what I mean? And I think they'll be back supporting us and supporting it. And businesses should support each other. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's enough for everybody. We should all help each other out. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing saying someone can't go to 2 or 3 other pubs before they come to a night at Grand Central. Do you know what I mean? Why not?
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Why? There's enough for everybody. Let's not be greedy. Let's, share the love and just hop about. I think Liverpool City Centre is great as well. And like, I don't live far from West Derby Village. I love West Derby Village for a drink. You think Easter Sunday I would have been in the Sefton Beer Garden more than likely. Do you know what I mean? Or Good Friday, because the sun was out, like you say, Sam, just going and having a pint, a drink somewhere. And when you think how many other people would be there and how much people have lost, the only thing that's getting me through it is how much they're going to take on the opening party. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully it'll all balance out for everyone, and that's the way we've got to look forward to it. If we come out of it, if we come out of it safe and without it, affecting us too closely, then I'm happy.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? I'm happy. That's it. We've got, and that's all we can do. I think just be positive. And it's not like me.
I think if everyone is in the same mindset as well, and everyone, as you say, work together, it will be back to normal. Things will get back to normal. It's such a shame that certain venues, as you say, will fold from this, though. And that's the shame. There's probably venues that have been open years, and now they're just going to finish up.
And it's disheartened as well. Yeah. Do you know, if you were a struggling venue beforehand, and then this happened, you might not have to close the doors, but you might just feel like, I'm done. Do you know what I mean? You don't know. Like, I can't speak for everyone. I'm raring to get back, and the venue is, because, like you say, it was just getting a running start. It was just really picking up momentum. But I hope everyone comes out of it. I really do. I mean, I really, really do. But people haven't got contingency funds of like 6 months' wages for staff or rates and stuff. They just haven't. I mean, tell me who has. Do you know what I mean? Like, Richard Branson was asking for money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If he hasn't got it, then there's nothing down for us, is there?
Well, the thing with Grand Central is there's so many different rooms and things. You're going to fill it out with so many different acts because it's there, isn't it? People are going to come out. People are going to want to have a good time. People will want to have parties when this is over.
And I've got a late license. You know, we've got a late license, people. Grand Central, Smoky Mo's.
You'll have your chance of your plug later. You'll have your chance later. We'll give you your plug later. But listen, might as well do the shameless plug because we are sponsored today by the fantastic A to Z Creations, and they're a creative studio based in Liverpool and Manchester, and their aim is to provide businesses and individuals with a high quality professional branding, giving you the edge in the competitive market. If you're a musician to an accountant, they're happy to help you and provide specific services tailored to you. They've actually designed our new podcast logo, which I think is pretty cool. What do you think of that, Chris?
They've
done a good job there. I think they've done
pretty good indeed. Yeah.
You need to watch the stream later, Hayley. There's a reason why you can't see it. You'll be in the loop. I'll show you the loop later. Well, there you go. But listen, this is an advert. I'm going to do this. They've paid for this. They've designed our new logo and background for our podcast today, and they're giving away 10 free consultations for the next 10 clients. So if you get in touch with them on Instagram and Twitter at azcreationsptp or by email at a_zcreations@outlook.com and message them with the code NEWCLIENT10, and they will give you a consultation. And I've got to say, I've been blown away by their design team and their consultation team as well. I literally phoned up, what was it? I think it was Monday, and it's now Wednesday, and we've been able to get not only the podcast logo, but the backgrounds and everything set up. So they've been absolutely fantastic. So, like I said, if you're looking for a new logo and want a new logo, like I said, if you're a musician or an accountant or whatever, make sure that you go and follow AZ Creations, local lads as well, and they're very good at the job. So, Hayley, moving on past the advert, you said thank you. You've changed career. You haven't changed career 100%, but you're training to change career dramatically. Do you want to tell us something that you've been doing for the past couple of years?
Leading into it dramatically. No. So the reason I left the green room was to go to university to do my degree in drama. I come from a drama background anyway. So since I was a kid, probably from about 10, I've done drama and acting, and I've done bits and bobs. And then when I got the job in the green room, I went to Liverpool Theatre School. But I bunked off a lot of the dance classes and a lot of the singing classes. Yeah. So I went to drama classes in Liverpool Theatre School, but I did go to Liverpool Theatre School after school to the college. And then that's when I got into the hospitality industry. Then I think my last year at college, and then that's when I got into that. And like I say, I was only going the green room to get some extra money. It's just weird how life takes you down different paths. But from working at the green room, I've met so many people. I've had loads of boss experiences. We've done some great stuff, and now I get to work at, this fabulous venue, Grand Central Hall, because of what I've done at the Green Room. Do you know what I mean? So everything happens for a reason. I suppose you're on that path for a reason. But sorry,
no,
going back. So I'm going to do me degree in drama at 30. I keep thinking I'm 36, but I'm not 37. So yeah, at 37, I'm in my second year at LMA doing my degree. Where your old stomping ground?
It was my old stomping ground. It was some very happy memories there.
Me to sing on a stage anywhere. That's all I've got. Hey, that's it. Do you not hate me?
I said before, it's not a drastic change because you have had some acting experience back in the day. What, a little show called Brookside?
Oh, yes. Am I going a bit red again? Yeah. Yes, I was Tinhead's first girlfriend, and then I got jibbed for Jennifer Ellison. It did. In it, Tinhead had a girlfriend called Sharon Bridges. I think it was over about an 18-month period, and I was Sharon, and me and Tinhead got into loads of trouble, and then Jennifer Ellison, whatever, Emily Chadwick, her character was called, moved in, and poor Shazza, she got jibbed. But I've done other bits. I've been in. I went to Italy to do Hamlet. Done like a little tour of Hamlet and stuff like that. I've done quite a bit of stage. Actually, yeah. But we done like a theatre swap. So like this theatre company called Blue in the Face in Italy. So we went over there, performed a play in English, and then they come over here and perform their work for us in Italian, and it was great. That was a really good one. Done other bits and bobs. I've just done Tin Star.
Yep.
The show Tin Star. I've just done something for that as well. So that's on the first episode as well. So yeah. So I try and keep me little short fingers in. But yeah, I try, and I'm once this is all over, I was just in the process of getting an agent, and then obviously, but I'm in no rush, people, I like to act. I would like to act. I think I'd like to do a lot of stage work. I love the theatre. I love the theatre. The theatre's a passion of mine. Yeah, I love to do musical theatre. Except I can't sing.
You can. I've heard you sing. You can sing very well.
Oh, look at him being all nice and that again. Well, not well enough to sing. What is it? I dreamed a dream. I'm not going to be in lame as am I? Maybe it's one of the brasses in the background under the bridge. Sam's like, why did we ask her to come on?
Listen, we're 50 minutes in. We can't really go back now, can we? Hayley, what's the best way for people to get in contact with you if they want to hire the Grand Central Hall or have any inquiries about Grand Central Hall? What's the best way for them to get in contact with Grand Central Hall?
Well, after with the website is, you can still, obviously the website hasn't been updated or anything, it's grandcentralhall.com. But that's the website. But to be honest with you, social media is probably the best. So Grand Central Hall Liverpool is the page name, and then Grand Central Hall on the Instagram. Or you can drop me an email, which is Hayley Smitton, SMITTON, at outlook.com. Yeah, so, or, people Facebook me personally or whatever. I'm easy. Aye. No.
Go on, Chris.
What's then your main aim for Grand Central in the next 12 months? And after we get past this virus, what's the aim? Do you want to make it the biggest venue in the Northwest? And
do you know what? I'm going to be really transparent here. The aim, and neither is Maureen, who owns it. We're not competing against anyone. The aim for the venue is to have it open four nights a week with different stuff on. So like we have like Pink Floyd tributes on and stuff like that pull another crowd in, do you know what I mean? And like the Sunday shows are really starting to take off. The Sunday Club is really starting to take off before all this. So that's the aim. That's the aim, and to just get it out there. And if it becomes the biggest in the Northwest, which it's quite capable of doing, then great. But if we can get that full 4 days a week out to 7, we'd be all happy with that. Do you know what I mean? And just for it to have a good reputation, like, you know, where shall we go? Oh, it's me Bertie. Why not try Grand Central Hall? Where, you know, I'm having a party. Why not try Grand Central Hall? Do you know that? Just to be the first on people's minds and lips, I
think as well, because it is relatively new in the terms of evening stuff. I don't think people have actually physically seen how good the venue is. And I think as soon as they go in the venue, they'll be blown away just by the venue. Never mind the acts that you put on, because I know you put quality acts on every show you do. But I think venue itself is just, people need to just go and see it.
Yeah, they do, and this is the thing. And since I've been there, like I say, it's only from September. But August, end of August, yeah. The people that have come to the shows, like the cabaret shows, I'm talking more about the cabaret shows just because you guys in that line of work. And we've got repeat customers. We're building a client base already. Do you know what I mean? Like one lady said to me, we get together, there's 8 of them. And we get together once a month, like all brothers and sisters and, you know, partners and what you call it. So we have a night out once a month, and this is going to be our place. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, so it is building. And a lot of, you know, the green room was the same, repeat custom. That's where, you know, that's what sells your venue for you. People going away and saying, I had a boss time at Grand Central Hall. And you want people to say that. I want people to say it because they mean it, and not because, oh, they know me or they know Maury, you know, why don't you try there? Because they know they're in for a good night. Do you know what I mean? And that's and a good experience. All the staff that work there are lovely. They've got some lovely kids that work there, like, you know, just at uni, just getting the pennies in and all that, but they're lovely. There's a good group of, there's a good staff there. Do you know what I mean? They all care tremendously about the place and the job. Do you know what I mean?
You could probably say it's full circle, Hayley. You know, it kind of echoes the way that you were introduced into the management business side of venues. Can you see any young, inspiring people wanting to, not to take over your job, your role at Grand Central, but can you see anyone with similar traits?
Yeah, no, yeah, there's a few that spring to mind. I won't name and shame them in case like, oh, what are you doing? I shouldn't even be working that money. But no, there is, and it's not, it's like you say, because I never, like, if someone said to me, if you said to me now, what do you want to be when you grow up? I go, oh, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Because you don't realise things just come your way and you have to take the opportunities. And but there's a few, and some people will only, and this is just a, you know, generic like thing, people who work in bars and clubs and pubs will only do that while they're at uni, and it's not for them, and they know some people are just made to do it. Do you know what I mean? I could, you know, I really want to be a dingle in Emmerdale and work behind a Woolpack bar. Ultimately, I'm a barmaid. Do you know what I mean? I'm a barmaid who's just observed over the years. Do you know what I mean? I love nothing more than being behind the bar, pulling the pint, me, and giving everyone stick or banter. But you know what I mean? So you just progress. You progress as a person, don't you? And I think that's what's happened to me. You just progress from and just observing and just being a delightful boss.
Well, Hayley, thank you so much for joining us this evening. That's been.
I've had a ball.
Hopefully you've forgot about the outside world and had a good laugh with us this evening to talk about yourself. But that's been the Sea Live podcast number 4. Chris, thank you so much.
See you. Have a lovely week. Be safe, everyone.
And Hayley again, thank you so much. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Love you.
Thank you, Hayley.
Bye. Take care. Sorry about my little no nail fingers.
Before we go, C Live was brought to you by AZ Creations. They're a fantastic design logo team. Like I said before, they've done fantastic work for us providing the C Live podcast logo. Make sure you go and hit them up because they're giving away 10 free consultations for the next 10 clients. So get in touch with them via Instagram and Twitter at AZ Creations PTP or by email at a_zcreations@outlook.com and message with the code NEWCLIENT10. Also, don't forget to follow our social media, Facebook at CLive, Twitter at CLive Entertain, and I said that wrong, I'll say that again, at CLive Enter Ta1, and also Instagram at CLive UK. Guys, that's been the CLive podcast. Thank you so much. Stay safe out there. Bye-bye. Wash your hands, guys. Wash your hands. Bye-bye.